I'm Becca Harrison and I'm a lecturer in film and media studies. So we are looking at the environmental impact of filmmaking, and we're specifically looking at props and costumes. So we're thinking about how they're made, what techniques get used to make them, what materials people are using, and then we're trying to reverse engineer some of the ones that were made for the Star Wars franchise. So we're taking things that people are really familiar with. People probably have replicas at home, so looking at like R2-D2 and one of the costumes that was made for Kenny Baker, we're looking at lightsabers, Padme Amidala's big kind of red throne room dress, so all kind of really iconic designs, and then trying to get people to think about them in a slightly different way. What the environmental impact would be, so thinking about carbon emissions attached to those making processes.
My name is Shu, as a research associate. So I'm an environmental scientist, so I'm doing the life cycle assessment for this project. So my focus on measuring the carbon emissions from the props and costumes of the filmmaking, especially for the Star Wars movies.
So we're working with industry partners. Our main one is BAFTA Albert, who are BAFTA's kind of big sustainability consultancy, and they do all the accreditation that you see at the end of UK film and TV productions to sort of help get productions to be net zero. So we're working with them on a bunch of different resources. So we're hoping to create workshops for emerging filmmakers to get people thinking about this stuff right at the start of their career, and that will really embed this thinking in their practice. We're also launching a website in the next couple of months where we're going to be hosting all of our case studies and findings. And one of the things that we're going to be offering is a very early stage calculator tool, so that people can go on and they can make comparisons between different kinds of material to work out whether or not which would be the most sustainable for their asset. One of the things that we're really keen to do with that is get people thinking about the differences between physically making something, so whether you're making it out of like plastic, wood or metal, or whether you're doing it CGI. Because one of the really big myths about digital is that it's greener. And I think it's because you're not seeing the process, and people aren't really thinking about all of the material stuff that goes into making a computer, the energy it uses, the servers that are behind the scenes storing the information. So yeah, that's going to be one of the things that we factor in, and people will be able to sort of compare and say, okay, well, if I make this out of metal, it might actually be more sustainable than the amount of energy that it would need to be done on a computer.
So we've got some challenge, which is like every LCA analyst got, which is like the data collection is like the crucial part, and then like because this one is more to historical physical props as well, so it's hard to get the data access, and we need to dig it from the archives, interview the peoples that involved in this filmmaking. So then that's the most challenge that we're facing at the moment. And then also like we need to access like the data, which is like some of them is not documented. So then we need to make like a lot of assumptions, which is normal for the LCA people. But then yeah, we need to make sure that we clarify in the future.
So yeah, we're hoping to just get people sort of in a different mindset with this.